welcome back to Comic Book Wednesdays, a weekly series where we discuss comic books. We're your hosts, I'm Ian.
I'm Al.
And I'm Shane.
What up?
We're back with another episode of Gambit.
I like that accent, Ian.
I was trying. So we're back. We got, issue 789 of Gambit.
Yeah. Which I gotta tell you, I enjoyed these 3 issues a lot more than the first 3 of this, or the first 6 of this set.
I absolutely agree, and I also have a feeling that this guy now has a better. Someone either stopped him midway through writing, or he was like, "I'm gonna fake you out," because he has this level of understanding with the character now, where Gambit's like, "Oh, I'm in a relationship." No kidding, dude.
Yeah, it only took you fucking 6 episodes to realize you were, you asshole.
What the hell? But yeah, so that's a nice change. I feel like Gambit's acting more like Gambit now. Which,
yeah, me too. It was definitely a nice change of pace, and to see his character change was fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you threw me off earlier when we were just casually talking, where you were like, "Oh, how did you feel about the Marvel Zombies?" And I was like, "Wait a second, what?" But that's really what it was.
It really was, because you got the whole thing from the one character who was still using his powers with the zombie activity and shit. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I love the zombie aspect. Jesus, it did hit hard with the corrupt cop thing.
That was rough.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. Well, to get people up to speed, young black man is down in his luck using his powers to be a villain and steal shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this bitch just straight up shoots him in the fucking back!
Well, I think what the worst part was that Gambit was talking him down, and Gambit was like, "I'm gonna get you some help. It's not too late. You can have a new turn on life." And this guy was like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That sounds like a good idea." And then this lady shoots him in the back as soon as his force field is down, and I'm like, "Jeez!" And then she plays coy. And then as soon as they're in private, she's like, "Yeah, shot that bitch in the back. How'd you like that?" And I was like,
yeah.
"Oh my god."
I'm not gonna lie though, when I first saw her, I was like, "Wait, is this a chick from Spider-Man? This does not seem like the fucking same character."
Man, Al, not every Asian cop in Marvel is Yuri.
Yes, they all look the same.
Oh man.
No, I don't think that. I'm just putting that out there.
I know.
I just thought it was funny.
To be fair, I thought it was Yuri as well, and I was like, "That's not this. This is New Orleans. This isn't the same lady."
Well, I had to even look it up. I was like, Asian cop from Spider-Man games, and I'm like, "Oh, no, that's not the same character."
Oh my god.
I did think it was really messed up because her partner just hates mutants, and he was like, "Oh, what are you, good cop, bad cop?" And she was like, "Oh,
she's
no,
like,
he's
"No,
the
I'm
good
the
cop.
I'm
the bad cop." And he's just like he didn't know what she meant. He was like, "You're being nice to me though. What are you doing?" And yeah, she cries after that kid gets shot, and is she was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I'm so sorry." She's apologetic, and Gambit's like, "Hey, you made a mistake. That was real messed up, and that was all you, but you made that mistake." And then in private, Ian was saying, just yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
and he's
she was
what the hell?
a piece of shit.
And she was like, "No one's gonna believe you if you say anything." Yeah,
yeah. And then she used an ethnic slur for it, mutie, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this woman's terrible."
Yeah, she is definitely the worst person in this whole comic line.
Oh, absolutely.
By far.
And the last villain was a demon.
Yeah. That's gotta say something about her personality.
I gotta say what was really like kind of BS, and like this is jumping ahead a little bit, but since we're just like kind of talking about it, when Remy was with that girl in the beginning, like the granddaughter, and she was like, "Oh well, this is a date," and he's like, "No, no, 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 this isn't a date.
This is not a date.
I'm taken. Like, yeah, I messed up, but like I like my partner. I'm happy with my partner. I'm happy with
Yeah.
Rogue." And then she was like, "Well, no, what about our date?" And he's like, "This is not a date." And then like she gets all butthurt and like tries to and like is gonna like screw him over, which I think is just horrible.
Yeah, she
Oh,
like
yeah.
she mailed the disc to fucking Rogue. It's like, fuck you, bitch.
And she's like, well, what about that cop? And then it seems like every time she looks at the monitor, the cop is doing something inappropriate to him.
Smacking his ass or fucking kissing him or
Yeah, and like with any kind of context clues, like even in the monitor, which I think is really good on like the illustrator's part, is like whenever the cop is being like flirty and kind of dominantly possessive, Gambit looks disgusted. Like
Oh
he's
yeah.
turning his head his way.
100%.
He's looking at her in surprise, like, "Why are you touching me?" Like he's looking at her with like malice, like he doesn't want it to happen. But all she sees is, "Oh yeah, there's that girl touching you because I can't touch you." And it's like context clues, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she was definitely not reading the room.
No, not at all. The oh god, and then I kind of like the angle they did with the grandmother, like the voodoo witch doctor that causes the zombies to show up. She is doing.
Abusive.
She is, but you can also tell she loved her grandson because, like, she raised him from the dead to get revenge. Question mark? Because I mean, like, you want to get revenge for your grand. Is it? I'm having a revelation here as I'm like working it out in my head. So, like, did she really want to get revenge for the death of her grandson? Or was it her, how dare you do this to my blood? Like, insult on me type of
I
thing.
think it was a little bit of both and some of, oh my god, I treated him so poorly while he was alive, I have to avenge him. You know what I mean? Like, the guilt of being the way she was, I need to avenge you and I need to punish those who did it to you, but not knowing who it was and blaming Remy for it.
That's fair.
Remy really has a case of wrong place, wrong time. Like,
Oh, that is his fucking main stake right there. He's just being at the wrong place in the wrong time.
Absolutely. But he always, and then like he always ends up doing the right thing.
Well, yeah, because that's the one thing I love about Gambit is he has a conscience. Like, he may be a playboy and he may make mistakes, but he has a conscience and he knows what's right, whether he likes to admit it or not.
It's a good character. It's a good character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's honestly what we were saying from the last set of issues we were doing, like that last storyline, where he like didn't show that, which is what I think we were upset about. At least me.
We were all missing that, yeah.
Yeah.
100% agree with that.
Yeah, we were kind of getting that back. Dude, I felt what I felt bad about Dan having to come back.
Oh yeah, and he had to like, he almost had to kill Dan again, but luckily he didn't have to.
It was really good writing how they showed like his depth of character and depth of caring for Dan, because like the voodoo man was just like, hey, that's not your friend, he's a zombie, and he's just like, no, but I failed him, and like,
yeah, I liked Voodoo Brother. He was a good character.
Voodoo Brother,
yeah, he was cool.
I did think it was really cool at the end where he was just like, I'm a psychiatrist, and he's just like,
here's my number.
And he's just like, no, man, you got some problems, my guy. Like, we need to have a conversation.
Al, real quick, come this way.
They actually have darkness.
But yeah, no, dude, the voodoo guy was cool. I think we'll see more of him. At least I hope we will.
Yeah, I would like to see more of him. I thought he was a cool character. He definitely brought Remy back, and you know, I enjoyed that whole scene. That whole second or third book was fantastic in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it definitely was.
Excuse me.
Controlling the alligators. You good?
Oh yeah, yeah. Was
Controlling
fucking
alligators and
awesome.
snakes and swamp. And, yeah, it was really cool. Um, I also liked in one of the issues that had the two kids talking, and they're like, "Yeah, there's this like werewolf alligator monster that lives in the freaking swamp, and
Yeah.
guy's boss as hell." Yeah,
I've heard of him. That's Gambit from the X-Men. No, he's a brother like us.
yeah. Voodoo brother, and then she shows up. Yeah, that shit was
Yeah,
cool.
that was awesome. I gotta tell you, these three comics almost, not quite, but almost made me feel closer to the original stuff that we got from Gambit. You know, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's by far not the same. Excuse me, but it was definitely better than those original three.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Uh, but it not. I think this writer is redeeming himself with this set.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd agree with that. Yep.
and I'm glad that we're reading it. And you know, like I was really happy with the first set of the classic Gambit we read, and then now I'm really happy with this. Now I was okay with the other stuff, but this is I think salvaging this run, and
Yeah. Oh
um,
yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
I and again I find myself just like a broken record, and being thankful for the things that you guys are recommending because. I would never have read this stuff if it wasn't for you guys, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, and it's it's like I think I've said it before. It's the best part about this because I like the stuff that I like. You like the stuff that you like, and you know, talking about it and getting different perspectives on how the character acts and how you perceive their actions
Mhm.
makes the comics so much more better.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
agree.
Yeah, because you get to delve into it and you get to really break down the meaning of it. And then
Yeah.
even something that like I might not appreciate, but like you or Shane would, um, you bring that influence to my mind, and then I'm like, oh, that does make sense. You know, like I can appreciate that from what you're saying. Um,
Right.
and I actually really experienced that last week too, when it came to some of the lore behind like Terra and things like that. Like Shane was really going into detail on that, and that was awesome.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like to depend on each other's strong suits. Like I don't have a fucking real good idea of Terra and stuff like that. So like it was nice to have Shane's input on that. And you know, like with you with the movie things and you know the comparison between the live action and the comics, it's you know, it brings a lot to the table and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you. We all bring something to it.
The Guardian
Uh,
Network.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited to continue it. I think we only have one more week of Gambit left.
Yeah, I
Do we?
do think that's the end of it after this.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It was a quick couple of issues.
You
you know,
know, I mean, I'm really enjoying it, and like you guys were saying, it is not something I normally would have gone for, but now that I'm into it, I'm like, yeah, this is fascinating. I'm loving this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. So since we're coming to the end of my pick, I believe you're next, Ian.
I
Mm-hmm.
am. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I have a couple things floating around. There was a Daredevil book that, like,
Ooh, that'd be
Ooh.
fun.
I was thinking Daredevil. I'm not sure exactly what Daredevil book because there's different eras that I want to check out. Like, I was thinking maybe some Frank Miller.
Frank Miller is fantastic, very dark, but a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
I don't particularly go to the dark stuff as much as you guys, but I have enjoyed like when we did Watchmen, it was fun. It was a little dark for me, but it was still a good comic.
Watchmen is really, really dark.
It's very dark.
Daredevil doesn't get that dark. We'll see. Yeah, I'm still tossing around because there's a Mark Waid run that I really liked. I read like a part of it, um, and he's like, it's got a nice mix. It's a little on the lighter side, but
Okay.
it is written really well.
All right. Nice. Have you been considering anything, Shane, for your next read? Because you're right after Ian, so.
I have a couple of ideas, but like nothing concrete. Like,
I'm gonna put my 2 cents in here. I would love to
please.
do more Power Rangers. I think that was fantastic. But
I can
I'm
make that happen.
excited for anything we read. I think it's gonna be a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Power Rangers, Transformers, Shane, all of it's great. I kind of want to dabble in some Ninja Turtles too eventually.
Oh yeah, and you got those Ghostbuster comics too.
I do. I do have the Ghostbusters. I haven't read them in such a long time, but like I don't remember like because it's been years. Like they came out I found out that they were coming out and like I was like, "Cool, I'm grabbing all these." And
Yeah.
like I remember reading them and enjoying them, but like it's been so long that I don't remember the story anymore. So like
Okay.
there's a couple of options and like
Almost like a reread for you from the very beginning.
yeah, and then Ian, if you ended up doing Daredevil, like have, I mean, like I've dabbled in like some Marvel stuff, and like I've been a long time fan of the X-Men. Never read anything. Like Daredevil is one of those things that like, aside from the Netflix shows, I know nothing about.
Yeah, no, I from the appearances in the X-Men and Spider-Man shows, that was pretty much it for me. Like he seems like a cool character, and the shit that Netflix did, but that's it for me as well.
Maybe we should do some classic stuff then.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but maybe a little bit of classic, a little bit of new stuff. If there's a couple of short stories.
Yeah, you know what? I'll have to do a little research. Thankfully, I got all next week to do it too because I'm kind
You do have all of next week.
of I'm a little like bummed rushed on time here because I'm doing some D&D stuff this weekend with my friend in Maryland, and
Yeah, you were telling us about that.
I wrote a one shot, and uh, my one of my players sent their like stuff to me and was like, "Hey, this is what I want to do for a character," and I was like, I was doing everybody at level 1, and he sent me a really, really, really cool idea, and it really only works if he's level 3. So I gotta boost everyone to 3, and then kind of like boof up my combat encounters a little bit.
Fair,
So
okay.
I got a
Yeah,
little bit
that
of
could
work.
be a pain.
Yeah, I got a little work to do tomorrow, but I think I can get it all done and then have something going. But I'm excited.
All right.
But now we're getting off topic a little bit. I think we're good to end it. We haven't talked about the comic in a minute.
No, yeah, definitely. Um, I think it was a great second half of the run. To reiterate, I'm definitely happy with that. Uh, it makes me excited to read more of the Gambit comics to move on from. So, that's my take on it, at least.
Yeah, so like, I think we're going to be in good hands. Like, we have potential to have some really good repercussions here for Gambit with Rogue coming in. I'm looking to forward to see how they wrap everything up next week.
Shane, your last thoughts?
Yeah. I'm really kind of mad that she sent that videotape to Rogue because I feel like Gambit's about to get a raw deal, and knowing writers as well as I know them in like comic book settings and like drama settings, I I'm assuming the worst, but I'm hoping it's not as bad as I think it is. But I'm excited to read it.
Me as well.
Agreed. All right, well, cool. Well, I'm gonna finish up. It's a little early to say goodnight, but I'll say it anyway. Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
Take it easy, y'all.